Okay. So as we approach the end of financial year, it's really crucial to take stock of our finances by proactively reviewing accounts, making prepayments, making smart investment decisions. We can really improve the health of our business. Today, Praviin from PKM Tax Advisory has very kindly offered to share some updates on recent regulation changes for tax and super and explain to us what that means to us both as individuals and as business owners. So, with that, I'll hand over to Praviin.
Thank you, Kavita. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Hi, guys. I'll just quickly share the screen. Now let's have a look. Can you see this? Can you see the screen?
We can.
Okay, great. First thing, of course, is a disclaimer. Okay, that this, of course, is not advice. It's just information and
Be warned.
Be warned, precisely. And anyway, just a chit chat to see what is happening in the next few weeks and so on, and how we can benefit if we were to do some tax planning. Of course, we work so hard to make our income and generate profits. The question is, how can we manage that in a way so that we pay the right amount of tax? When I say right, because we're not doing anything wrong here. Tax is about planning, and that also means that you could be paying tax before or after, depending on what's better for you in the financial years. So this first is of course, the disclaimer. So, and then we'll just go to the next slide here, tax tips. So action plan for things to be done before 30 June 24. So as I mentioned just now, that tax is about when should you pay tax. Should you pay tax this year? Well, yes, because if you pay this year, you'll be paying less. Or should you pay tax next year because you'll be paying less, and so on. So few things we have to plan. Also, should we pay something now? So obvious one is if you have a company structure, you have employees, or for yourself also, you have to pay super guarantee by 28th of July for the June quarter. Yes. So rather than paying on the 25th of July and you get the deduction in the following year, you might as well pay on the 28th of June. So that paying that 30 days earlier, you get a 1-year tax advantage. Now, depending on your payroll and your super guarantee amount, you could have a benefit of a few dollars, and that could be invested somewhere else. So it's not a question of just not paying tax. We're paying tax, but delaying the payment of tax. Okay, other one is like example I mentioned here is interest. So if you have to pay your rental property, or you have loans, if you want to prepay the interest in June, or not for the whole year, I'm saying, but 2-3 months, you can get the deduction in that period for 23-24 rather than 24-25. Other one could be regarding income. You could declare dividend on 30 June or on July. So if you do 30 June, you, of course, depending on your income, that'll be income for this year in 23-24. If you do it 1 July, it'll go to next year. So timing is the issue here we're discussing, basically. Yeah. So from 1 July 24, the personal rates are dropping. The government has got a phase whereby they're trying to bring the personal tax rates down. This is a quick comparison between the two financial years, 23-24, nil, going to 16% from 19%, and they have changed the bracket from 45 to 120 to 45 to 135. There's a quick snapshot of how things are going, and also on the top line as well. $180,000 was 45%. Now 190 has become 45%. So a quick comparison, if you were to pay tax in 23-24 or 24-25, is saving. So if you were to have the same $100,000 income, you'll be paying $2,000, 2179 less in 24-25. So I've got a little basically a table there to show what the impact is. So that means that if you were to push your income into next year, you have tax saving. Yeah, one way or the other. Yeah, but after $200,000, it's the same because the tables rates are the same. Okay, so that's the personal tax return personal tax rates. Now, superannuation is a fantastic vehicle to build up your wealth and have a nice nest egg for retirement. Why? Because super has a 15% tax rate when you have your taxable income. That's important to note. and your super contributions below $50,000 in the financial year. When you go above that amount, you have to pay 15% extra on concessional contribution. So there's a little small trick to that, but that's how it is. But still, this is better than having your income in your own name, which at 47%. Yep, that's what superannuation does. A quick one here. Now, this is very important. There's something called the carry forward rule, whereby you can carry forward the unpaid, the unutilized contribution into next year. These rules came in 2018-19. As you can see from here, limit was 25,000, 25,000, 25,000 in 3 years, became 27,500. Assuming that will contribute 10,000, 10,000, 15,000, you contribute less than the limit. So 18-19, you have a limit that you can bring forward. So ultimately, you can now contribute. Sorry, 18-19 will lapse at 30 June 24. Yes, because 5 years is going to expire. So what you could do is, there's a special form that you should fill up. Fill up the form, and on that basis, you can pick up your $15,000 that you were going to lose for 18-19, paid before June 24. So the 5-year rule will continue. So please, if you haven't seen this before, please look at this. This can be very beneficial. For example, in a particular area, you may have solar property, you have capital gains on something, you may want to bring the gain down. Then super is very fantastic way of making a contribution, because you already have the cash in hand from the sale of the property, from the proceeds. Yeah. So that's what main thing is, to just make sure that you benefit from the 5-year rule. Okay. The next one we're looking at here is, yeah, this is what I'm trying to basically mention. $15,000 available to be paid before 30 June and so on. And keep in mind that this year, 30 June is a Sunday. So just need to, I rather pay earlier few days and not pay on 30 June, which can go into July. So just a personal preference there. Other thing is that you can look at business structures also, where you can then choose to bring your structure into a company if you feel that next year is going to be growth over there. So basically what I'm saying there is that, say for a sole trader and your income is about $100,000, and things will go higher next year. So what you could do is set up a company and bring your income to the company structure. Because company pays less tax, which is at 25%. Now that tax that you paid, all right, can be then basically shifted across into future years when you can take a dividend out of that. So basically what we're doing is just pushing the tax into future year when we can benefit from that by having a company structure. Yeah. Other one that I'm mentioning here is basically, wait a minute, sorry, is just the comparison between the different rates. Yeah. So just to show that individual you're paying 47% and super funds you're paying 15% and companies 25%. So these are the three main ones we're looking at here. One thing that has happened here is that I can see now that this slide was a bit different one that I want to really show. So hang on, sorry, one thing, sorry. So one thing I want to add here is, before 30th June, we can also in your business buy equipment up to $20,000 and get a deduction for that in this financial year. So there's something that you're looking at, paying in say July, August. You might as well bring it into this year and get a benefit from the deduction by paying in June and bring equipment and everything this year, because you get a 100% write-off of up to $30,000. It was $20,000 before, it's $30,000 now. Okay, and that is a basic thing I want to discuss. And a big thank you to everyone, and of course complimentary time to spend with you if you want to discuss your business affairs. Not a problem at all with that. We can have a, what I do is I have a annual fee structure rather than hourly rates, so that no one's worrying about talking to me at short term and so on. So don't worry about that at all. So thank you for that, and then this is my details if you like to keep in touch with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Praviin.
Any questions?